Welcome to this little tutorial. I'm going to try and take you through how to set up a little AI tutor that help you with this course, and then also just give you some tips and tricks for actually using it. This is a complete experiment this year, and I really appreciate your feedback. As with all AI things, everybody always says they're experimental. I've done quite a bit of time evaluating this, and I think it's really beneficial, really good. But you also need to be careful with it and try and check, use the normal regular materials that I've provided for you, the exercises as well, and just use this as an add-on. But I think if you use it correctly, it could be really exciting as a way to sort of just increase your understanding of the course. So without further ado, let's walk through how you do this. The first thing you're going to need to do is go to the course pages, and in the course pages is a section called AI Tutor. If you look at that page, there's a link here to download the content. So if you click on that, it just basically creates a massive PDF which you need to download and save to your computer somewhere. Once you've done that, you need to go to Notebook LM, which is a Google product. You'll need a Google account, so you can, most people have one of those, sign in with your Google account and then click Try Notebook LM. You can see I've already been playing with this, but I'll show you from scratch. So click Create New, and it will ask you for some sources. So you'll need to find that file that you just downloaded. I've got mine here on the computer. Just drag and drop it into the window, and then it'll take a little bit of time to process. And that's it. You're basically set up. What you need to do then is, just so we can get this started while we're coming across, there's this thing on the right here where you can click generate. I'm going to just click generate normally, but there's also an option here to customize. What this is going to do is create kind of an audio lesson for you. So I would suggest that you play with it without doing this to begin with, but you might like to try and put things in here as you play with it, to say things like, I'm a student who's trying to revise for this module. Can you help me with that particularly? And that will just tailor a bit more the content that you get out of it. But for now, I'm going to just click generate. While that's working, I'm going to just show you some of the main features of this. You can see that you've got an interface that looks very like a kind of ChatGPT or Gemini type window. The reason this is very different in some respects, though, from those tools is that it's focused specifically on the notes and the material that my lecture content gives you. So what we've done here in uploading this file is give it some source material to work off. And that means that all the answers and all the interactions that it's going to be giving us when it generates answers are linked to my notes that I've given you. So let's just give you some examples. One of the early concepts that we explore is Brownian motion. So let's ask it some really simple questions. And it provides you with an answer, and the answer is tailored to the course and the notes that I've given you. And you'll notice as you look at the answers that there are all these sort of numbers that are scattered everywhere. This is one of the things I really like about this tool, is that it gives you an AI generated answer from my notes, but it will also tell you where in the notes it got it from. So if I hover over this one here, you can see that there's a bit of the lecture that it's showing you, which is where this answer has actually come from. And so you can just be confident, and you can also check that the answers it's giving you are actually correct. My experience is that generally speaking, it's very reliable in terms of giving you good answers. But I'd use this tool beyond just using it as a way to kind of find stuff in the notes and get summaries and information. You can use it to kind of increase your learning. So you can say, please give me some quiz questions related to Brownian motion, and also the answers. So you can see there that it's giving me some basic questions. It's asking, as well as giving you basic questions, it's also giving you answers to those questions and pointing you to the places that it's got that from. The second feature of this kind of tool, which I think is really quite fun, if a little bit cheesy and a little bit humorous at times, is that this tool will generate a podcast between two AI hosts who are talking through the material from my course. So I'll just play you a little bit of it.
Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into familiar and completely bizarre.
Like what?
Well, we're talking about forces, right? Like pushing and pulling is something we experience every day.
Right.
But when we go down to the nanoscale, it's almost like a different universe.
You're not kidding. The rules change completely.
To guide us through all of this, we're using this really cool university level physics lecture called Force and Function. It was, a bit dense sometimes.
Definitely a lot packed in there.
But the goal is to help everyone understand why size really matters at the nanoscale.
Exactly. We'll see how those tiny forces, ones we can't even see, actually control so much. We'll even see how geckos can climb walls. It's all because of physics.
Geckos. Okay, now you've got my attention. So where do we even start with all of this?
The biggest thing to realize is that down at the nanoscale, the forces that we're used to, the ones that kind of run our world.
Gravity, inertia, all that.
Exactly. They basically become insignificant.
Hold on. Insignificant. So what?
So you can hear that it's starting to now talk about the material in the course in the first lecture that we looked at. But one of the really cool things about this is you can actually join in this podcast and interrupt them and ask some questions, which they'll respond to. So let me just try that for you.
Blink takes over then.
Yeah, I was just wondering how these forces relate to gravity. Is gravity still important?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, it's mind bending how things work down there.
It's like our everyday intuition goes out the window. The thermal energy, that constant jiggling, it's huge compared to forces like gravity.
Right. It's like imagine trying to play pool, but every ball is being bumped around by a bunch of tiny springs.
Exactly. Things move randomly due to constant collisions, not in a straight line like we see with a macroscopic ball.
Okay, so it's more like a random walk down a straight path.
Right.
So hopefully you can see there that you can listen to this in the background and you can then interact with it. It might take a little bit of time. Usually it works a bit better than that. But hopefully it's something you can play with and get the most out of. If you want to just listen to the audio podcast without the sort of hassle of logging into that, you can go back to my web pages on the AI Tutor. I've embedded one of the podcasts for you, so you can listen to that just directly from the web page. So hopefully that gives you a few ideas about firstly how to set this up. Hopefully you can see it's very simple, and secondly just how to make the best use of it. And I'd really value your feedback on how this has helped you to learn. Perhaps when we come to the student evaluation survey, it'd be really good to just get some ideas of how you've been using this tool.